guys, and welcome back to my backyard. We're outside on the deck and it's another beautiful day. It's Tuesday, so why not get out here and do our project for the day. So today I've got something I think you're really going to enjoy. It's very simple. It does not take a lot of time or expense to do this project. You may even have some of these supplies already laying around. So we are going to make today a garden ball. Some people call them gazing balls. I'm going to call it a garden ball. I have a styrofoam sphere here. I forget what project I had it from, but it was left over, and I'm going to say it's probably about 6 or 7 inches in diameter. I also have, from when I did my little solar wall project, I saved the spikes off of my solar lights. I don't know why I saved them. I just thought perhaps they'd come in handy, and for sure they're going to come in handy because this is going to be what puts our solar or our garden globe in the ground. So I've seen these done a lot of different ways. Sometimes people choose to do these with like glass mosaic pieces, and certainly you can do that. You can get some colorful plates from the dollar store, put them in a Ziploc bag, bash them up, glue them on your ball, and then grout them and seal them. It's a little more work than I think I want to do. So today we're going to use instead pennies. I'm going to cover this thing with pennies. In part because I have these pennies kicking around, and also because I've heard this thing online that says that if you put one of these that are covered with pennies in your garden, as the rain hits the pennies and the pennies oxidize, if you put this in the garden near hydrangeas, apparently it will turn your hydrangeas from white to pink. I smell fake news on this one, but I do want to try it firsthand. So I've got my pennies. I've also got a tube of E6000 glue, which is kind of stinky, so you should use it outside anyways. The other thing that I am going to run in the house and grab, I do have a container of copper colored paint, and I think I am going to give this a quick coat of paint, only because I really don't intend to grout this after I glue my pennies on. I just want to be able to stick it in the ground and be done with it. But if I decide after, if I get the pennies on and I still really think it does need grouting, then I can always do that. It just means that I painted it uselessly. So I'm going to go grab my paint and let's get this project started. Okay guys, so here is my sphere. When I went in the garage to grab this little container of copper colored paint, I found that I had a can of spray paint left over, and it's for indoor-outdoor surfaces, and I thought, I'll give it a shot and see. I wasn't sure if maybe it was going to cause my styrofoam to degenerate and kind of shrivel up on me, but I sprayed it and it does not seem to be doing that. So right now I'm just going to set this aside, let it dry a bit, and when it's fully dried, then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how I'm going to put these pennies on. Okay guys, we're back. It's been about a half an hour. It's dry to the touch, so we can start affixing our pennies. Now, again, you can use whatever you want. The dollar store does sell bags of these flat back, kind of cabochon looking glass gems. Those are great to use on here as well. You can leave it without grout. You can put grout on it and seal it. I just wanted something a little bit quick and easy for my garden, so I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to get into my, maybe I'm going to get into my, there we go. All right, so E6000 glue, and I actually found, this is some kind of 10 pesos. This is a 10 pesos piece from, I guess, a past trip to Mexico. So I'm going to start off with that, and I'm just going to hold it kind of between my legs. I'm going to put that as the very top piece. And then from there, whoa, my glue is dripping. Just a tiny little dot of glue on each penny. It's all you really need. E6000 is pretty potent stuff. And like I said, it does have an odor. It's not a great odor. It has that sort of what I would call a typical epoxy type smell to it. So I'm going to suggest, if you can do this, do it outside. And I am not doing this in any kind of order in terms of heads up, heads down. No, no, no. Just getting these pennies on here, spacing them as best I can. Oops. There we go. And there will be some negative space in between. See, there's a little bit of space there. I'm just going to keep at this. I'm going to kind of keep track of how long it takes me to cover this 6 or 7 inch ball. I'm guessing about a half an hour. I'm thinking of gluing, but we'll get back to you when we all have it all done, and then we'll find a home for it in our garden. Okay guys, so we are about 20 minutes into gluing, and full disclosure, it's a little trickier than I anticipated because remember when I painted this, I said I was worried about the spray paint maybe degenerating the styrofoam somewhat? Well, the spray paint doesn't degenerate the styrofoam. However, E6000 glue does do that to the styrofoam a little bit. Now in this case, it's not entirely a bad thing because it kind of melts the styrofoam into like a plastic almost that is helping these pennies adhere. The other thing that's a little bit tricky is that until those pennies fully grab on to that styrofoam and dry, they can shift on you. So I find I have to put on 3 or 4 and then kind of hold them for 30 seconds or so just to give the glue a chance to soak into the pores of the styrofoam. So you can see, I mean, I'm making progress. The other thing I've done here is I've taken a bottle with some water in it just to sort of weight the bottle, and I put my globe in here just to hold it upright because it was getting too difficult to hold it in my hands or on my lap and do it. So I'm going to keep pressing onward, and we'll see if we can't get this whole thing covered without them falling off on me, and we'll be back. Okay guys, so I finally got our globe covered. I'm just wiping up some glue here. Words of advice and final thoughts on this project, which does look really good. The finished product does look really, really cool. Don't do it. It's time consuming and it's harder than it looks to keep those pennies in position while the glue takes its time to dry. Things I've learned in doing this project. It is, no matter what you do, you're going to have E6000 glue everywhere. The pants I'm wearing are completely ruined. A couple times pennies fell off, and of course they fell on my pants, glue side down. Not a big deal. These are my outdoor pants and my project pants anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that. But you will get glue everywhere. Have a damp rag handy to wipe your fingers / your work surface. Oh, penny's still falling off and having to be reattached. What else have I learned? Be prepared not to look at your hands and nails until you're done this project because, oh my goodness, what a mess you will have. The glue will come off. You can peel it off once it's dry, and you can also wash it off, give yourself a little bit of a scrub. My nails, though, are pooched. I did them yesterday and they are completely, yeah, they need some help. They are covered with E6000 and it does not want to come off the nails as easy as it wants to come off the skin. So yeah, it looks good. I'm pleased. It is heavy, not happy. Well, it's happy too, I suppose. It's quite heavy. You do need a sizable solar stake to put it on. But I think it's going to look really good in the garden. It needs now 24 hours to harden up to give that glue a chance to really grab those pennies, and so I am just going to leave it, and once I get it into my garden I will show you how it looks. So undertake this project with caution. I certainly wouldn't want to do any more than a 6 or 7 inch size globe because it took, what are we at here? 51 minutes of gluing and holding and gluing and holding and repositioning and picking up pennies off the floor. So I definitely would be careful undertaking this project with anything larger than this, especially if you're doing pennies. So we'll be back when we get it in the garden and we'll see how it looks there. Bye. Okay guys, so here is our finished product in the garden. It looks great. It was just a little bit more involved than I had counted on. So as long as you know that going into it and you're prepared, you should have no problem. Hope you've enjoyed this little project and we'll see you again soon.